Welcome to another episode of Muscle Rehab. Is that what I want to call this thing? It's not an official series, but that's what I'm going through right now. As you all know from the previous videos, achy, painy. It's getting a lot better now, but this workout here, I left it really light. 185, I believe, on the bar. Yeah. So let's jump right in. So what you're seeing here is a 185. I'm going for 6 reps. Now, normally this is what I use when I warm up. I do a few push-ups, do a few of the 5-pound shoulder roll, what do you call those things? Rolling the shoulders, forward and backwards. You got to get those shoulders warmed up. That's normally what people injure when they're on the bench press. It's rare to get a chest pull, but I got a chest pull. It wasn't really ego lifting. It was just the fact that I was dieting too hard, and yeah, I was trying to dial it back a little bit. I didn't have enough carbs, not enough energy. I got that pull. So my advice to you all is keep your food intake at maintenance when you're just trying to build your muscle. When you're trying to be on a deficit, don't do like I did and go in on I'm pretty sure I ate like 60 grams of carbs that day, if that much, before the workout. The majority of the carbs came after the workout. I was used to doing it, and that was my 4th or 5th day. Not what you're seeing in this video, but the day I injured it was like my 4th or 5th day on the heavy bench press. It was 225, 245. I did one day of 275, then 250. Yeah, and I think that day was the day of the 250. On my 6th set, decided to go for one more. I was doing a 5x5, went in for one more, and bam. So yeah, be careful. So the rest of this workout here, what you're going to be seeing here is a few more sets from a different angle with the same weight. Now I'm slowly grinding back into this thing. There's no pain, but I do have that feeling in the back of my mind that I know it hasn't been enough time yet, but I don't want to just get to the point where I'm doing no bench press or no type of chest movements. Now on the fly machine, I feel no pain at all. Nothing. But on the bench press, I know I went in about a week ago, and I put on 225, then I went to 235 or 245, and that's when I felt a little bit of pain, and I eased off that shit quick. So it's gotten better. It's not the same pain as when I first pulled it, but it's getting better, and now it's even better. But I'm slowly easing my way back in because I don't want that shit to happen again. It sucks being sidelined and you see everybody else in the game doing their thing, and you're just sitting here with 185 pounds in the bar like, what the fuck? It's not fun at all. So my advice to you all is ease your way back in, especially if you're on the compound movement, because that's a heavy amount of weight. It doesn't take that much weight to re-injure the muscle that you injured. And if it's a tendon, really take time off. Now, here's a minor thing that's going on right now. I would say a week before I banged a week before I pulled my pec, I banged my elbow on the bench next to me. This gym keeps their benches rather close to each other. And I put the 45 on, and I turned, right here in the funny bone. And it only hurts when I'm on the pressing movements, when I'm doing press-up, press-downs, I feel it. So ease back, get a good warm-up. Once you get warmed up, it goes away. But then once the adrenaline goes down, you go home, you're hanging out, you're eating again, you start to cool off, the pain starts to come back. So you gotta really watch out for those shoulder bangs. Yeah, they're deadly. So that's probably what contributed to this, because, you know, I don't know, I'm just trying to be scientific with it. In the back of my mind, instead of really focusing on what I was doing that day, I was really focusing on that elbow before the pain even set in. About every rep, every set, I was just going in, thinking about that elbow rather than concentrating on what I was doing. And maybe that lack of concentration led me to believe that, hey, I got one more set. Instead of doing the 5x5 like I planned for the program, because I am working on a program right now, instead of sticking to my guns, I say, you know what, one more. Sometimes that one more, it takes that one more to fuck you up. And you know, there's been days where I go in with 225 and I do 100 reps, especially at the old gym before they closed down. I would go in 225. Now this is during the bulk, so remind you, I have a ton of calories in my system. I'm in there, I put on 225, I'll go for 100 reps, right? I'll do 10, 12, 10, 12, because at that time I was hitting 10 and 12 per rep. During the cut, your strength drops dramatically. But anyway, I'm sitting 10, 12, 10, 12. Once you start to get around 60, 75, you're hitting about 8, sometimes 6. Your strength would drop. But I would get in and do 100 reps. It would take about an hour and a half, maybe close to 2 hours. But I'll have that bench locked up. No one will fuck with me. Come on, you're sitting there. People look at you from the time they walk in to the time they're getting ready to go, and they're like, damn, he's still on that bench press. Okay. Yeah, no one's coming in asking how many more sets. They just see, okay, this guy's in the zone. And when you're in that zone, you know, you're just doing your thing. And when you're doing your thing, you know, nobody bothers you. So, you know, I had those days where I go in 100 reps to 225. And then I had that day where I put on 275 and I tried to go for 100. And I do believe I got to about 50 reps. No, it wasn't 50. Let's not lie now. It was more like, shit, it wasn't 50. It was like 30, I think it was 34. I want to say 36, but 34 reps with 275. And that night, oh man, during the bulk, those are your strongest days when you got all those extra carbs, all that extra, I would say the extra fat. The fat is not what you're getting your energy from immediately. The fat is what makes your neck look like a fucking donut. No, it's the carbs. Mad amount of carbs. I'm at work all day. My schedule is crazy. I'm at work from 9 o'clock to 6 p.m. So I'm sitting there in my chair on my computer. I'm eating a bunch during the bulk because I know later on I got that workout and all those carbs. They just get in, they sit in, turn the glycogen, you fuel up, you're powered up, you're ready to go. That's the good thing about it. But I would rather be lifting in the afternoons. But due to work schedules, you gotta lift when you lift. Get it in when you can get it in. So. Yeah, I think I got a little off track, but it's a little better me talking about this than the normal shit that I'm talking about in the videos where, yeah, rehab. Yeah, I'm rehabbing right now. It's going well. I'm going to eventually start to increase the weight maybe to 205, or I may go a few more days with the 185. Yeah, like I said, I'm being smart this time. I want to get back to where I'm repping 275, all right? 275, 280. I want to get back to those days. So I'm not going to get there by all of a sudden feeling like, you know what? I haven't felt any pain in a few days. Let me jump back on. And next thing you know, I'll be sitting back here like, hey guys, yeah, I don't want that. So be smart. The tips to take away from this video is be smart. If you have any sort of injuries, like the other night, I was doing some leg presses because I'm doing everything else. I'm doing leg presses. Yes, I work legs. Now, I didn't warm up. I was warmed up on everything else. I was doing a bunch of stuff, doing a bunch of pull-ups, curls, some back stuff. So I was warmed up, but my legs weren't warmed up. And the previous person had left, I think, 6 plates on each side on the leg press where you're sitting down and you're kicking that bad boy up. And I'm not lifting that shit. So I put 3 on each side, which is easy. I can hit that shit for 12, 14 reps. But I wasn't warmed up. Upper body was cool, lower body wasn't. I got on, I said, okay, well, a few days ago, I know I hit this. I just got on there, started lifting. I'm hitting it. Everything's cool. Did a few baby reps just to, you know, get a little warm up. I went all the way down to depth, maybe twice, went back up. Everything felt cool. Walked around for a second rep, long story short, got in, started going to depth. 1, 2, 3. On that third one, I felt the hamstring kind of, you know, wasn't a pull, but it was a twinge, a little tingle. So, hopped off that shit, walked around, did a good stretch, just warmed it up. Got back on, did a few more, and once I got to like the 4th rep, I felt that shit again, so I backed off. Went in, so, moral of that story is, warm up. I know I'm rambling, but like I said, I want to switch it up a little bit because I'm going to be doing this rehab for a while, and I am pretty much documenting everything that I'm doing, and I don't want it to be boring. But who gives a fuck what you guys think? I'm just joking. Alright, so with all that said, you guys be smart in the gym. Be smart. Just be smart. I don't have a big philosophy saying right now. I just don't. Just be smart. Be smart. Lift smart. Focus on what you're doing. I'll say it one more time. Be smart, people. Focus. Alright? Now I know there's a few guys out there who are promoting these outrageously heavy lifts, and I don't want this series to blend into a shit talking fest. I want this to stay pretty much documenting about what I'm doing. But I will touch on that in a different series, a more loose series where I'm going to be just going full force, no fucks given. going in on some of these guys, because I'm building a program right now and I want people to progress. You know what I'm saying? The gym is where you go to build yourself up. It's not where you go to show the fuck off and try to build your rep by perhaps being enhanced, and then you're telling people to do all this crazy shit. And I'll get more into it in a different type of series, but I want people out there, I want you to be careful. Raw and uncut. Do not fuck around. Do not listen to these dumb assholes in the gym who are telling you to do all this crazy shit. It pisses me off because I'm going through injuries. I've been through so many injuries. Some from ego, some just from because shit happens. A lot of it's been because of shit happens. I rarely ego lift. So like that wasn't ego lifting what happened there. That was just me not eating enough. Me going for one more. And it was only with something, it was something that I can handle. Now if I would have put on, you know, try to do 4 or 5 or some crazy shit and I pulled it, yeah, that's ego lifting. You know what I'm saying? But that was in some range that I can handle. It just happened. So I know these guys are promoting this. They want to build their brand, and it works. You do outrageous shit on YouTube, your brand goes ridiculous. You start selling programs at the expense of the people you are promoting to. People, think. Common sense is not all that common these days. Use common sense. When you see a guy doing something outrageous, lifting something outrageous, something beyond what his body even looks like he can do, chances are he's enhanced, or he's cruising for a bruising. He's slowly getting his way into the realm of Snap City. He's on that choo-choo train to Snap City, and eventually he's going to snap this shit up. And the thing about it is, if you snap yourself up following behind a person like that, they're not going to come in and fucking save you. There's nothing they can say on their channel. They're not going to get on their nice DSLR and say some shit that's just going to heal you up. What they're going to say is, oh, you should have warmed up, or you should have, I don't know, some old fluffy shit. But just don't fucking do it. It's not worth it. Those people are not going to be there to have your back. They're there to make money, to build a brand, which is nothing wrong with that. But at the expense of other people, telling them to do something that they should not do. That's when you become a piece of shit in my book. So, yeah, this got really raw and uncut. Didn't want to curse as much as I did, but I'm like, fuck it. Next series, I'll be a little more politically correct, I guess. A little more censored. But right now, fuck that. Be smart, people. And, yeah, eat more. So, with all that said, stay on the grind.
My adversaries fly like hoes, fully eradicate my foes. My lyrics explode on contact. Came in you hoes, who else but mama's only son? But the phony niggas in the world say my name, watch bitches come.